Hey everybody, welcome back. Have you ever thought that you wanted to try making some ice cream but you don't have an ice cream machine? If you said yes, then you're in luck, because today we're going to show you how to use a couple of these, a whisk or a mixer, a little bit of ice, and obviously your ice cream ingredients to make really great homemade ice cream. So you ready? Let's get into this. For this recipe we're going to need heavy cream, 2% milk, egg yolks, vanilla extract, vanilla whey protein powder. We're using Dymatize whey protein, and the reason we're using that is because it has almost no cholesterol. And if you ever look at a package of whey protein powder, you notice that that's typically something that is super duper high. And as always, our monk fruit sweetener. And in addition to this stuff, we need 2 bowls. Obviously one larger and one smaller. The smaller bowl you're going to want to make sure is metal, because that's going to be sitting in the ice, and the metal does a really good job of staying nice and cold. In addition to these, we need a bunch of ice and also some salt. If you want to make this recipe, all the ingredients and measurements are down in the description of the video, along with the calorie count, the protein, the carbs, and the fat. The first thing we need to do is prepare our ingredients and temper the egg. So we'll take our egg yolks, throw them right into a mixing bowl, and then we're going to whisk these until they get nice and smooth and turn from this sort of dark orange color we have here to a lighter yellow color. That's probably going to take about 2 or 3 minutes. Once it gets about like this, then we can add in our monk fruit sweetener. So we'll pour that in, and we're going to whisk this until it gets combined and smooth. You don't want it looking all granule like this. We're going to get this looking a little bit like a paste. And then when it starts looking about like this, we can add in our other ingredients. So we'll whisk in our 2% milk and our heavy cream. Most of the recipes we have on this channel are usually low calorie recipes, sugarless recipes, low fat stuff. This is definitely not one of those, and the reason for that is if we're using this method to make ice cream, you have to have pretty high fat and protein contents in order to make it come out right, and that means we can't do like the super low fat ice creams. Our mix isn't going to whip well enough, and then we'll be working on it all day with no results. But we're still doing it without sugar, so that's a plus. Once we get that mix, we're going to set our range to between a medium and a medium-high heat, and then we're going to pour in our mix. For this part, a digital thermometer like this is going to come in really handy. What we want to do is heat this up to about 170 degrees to temper the eggs. Once the temperature on this reaches about 110 or so, then we're going to add in our protein powder and our vanilla extract. Remember that during this whole process, you need to be doing a pretty good job whisking this. Otherwise, you're going to get stuff sticking to the sides of the pan and you might burn a little bit, and ice cream does not taste very good that way. Trust me. Once we pass 110 degrees, we can add in the rest of our ingredients. So we'll whisk in the whey protein a little bit at a time. If you don't want to just throw it in there, otherwise you're going to risk clumping. Add in our vanilla extract. Okay, once this is over 170 degrees, we can remove this from the heat, pour the contents into our mixing bowl, and we're going to put this into the refrigerator to cool down for about an hour. By the way, if this is your first time here and you want to learn some cool new recipes, get some great cooking tips and tricks and all sorts of other kitchen related things, then start now by subscribing to the channel and clicking the notification bell so you never miss a thing. Alright, after this cools down, we can take this out of the refrigerator and we'll be ready to move on to our next step. So now we're going to take our large bowl and we're going to fill this up about halfway with ice. Once you have your ice in here, we're going to add salt. And you're going to want this at something close to a 4-to-1 ratio of ice to salt. You can just eyeball this, it doesn't have to be exactly perfect. The reason for this is it lowers the freezing temperature of water. Basically the same principles when they salt the roads during winter. So after we got our salt in here, we're going to mix this up a little bit. Next, we're going to take our ice cream mix and throw it right there in the middle. And then we're going to take our Ninja Foodi Power Mixer and mix this at the lowest speed we possibly can. And really we're going to keep doing this until this gets nice and thick. It's going to end up looking a lot like whipped cream, and it's going to take about 10 minutes or so of doing this. Keep in mind there may be a little bit of buildup on the sides of the bowl here since it's so cold. We don't want to get our mix all icy, so we're going to want to scrape that down every once in a while also. You'll be able to tell when you're almost done here because you're going to see it's starting to form these peaks like this. When you're seeing that, you know you're almost there, but I'll tell you what, this is a pain in the ass. If anything makes you go out and buy an ice cream maker, it's going to be this. I'll tell you that right now. Yeah, this is a lot cheaper to do, but it's a pain in the butt. You got to hold the bowl down in the ice a little bit to make sure that you're getting that water level up as high as you can too. And I don't know, this has been a lot longer than 15 minutes. We're probably closer to about 25 right now. After you've been doing this for about 25 minutes or so, you can stop this temporarily. And you can see this has gotten nice and thick. It's a lot like soft serve ice cream, but it has more of a consistency of whipped cream. That really shouldn't be a big surprise because basically it is whipped cream for the most part. At this point, we'll get this out of the way, and you're going to bring over a container that we can throw into the freezer. Preferably you want one that has a lid like this one. If you don't, you can always just cover it with something, but the stuff with the lid works a lot better. And we're just going to go ahead and pour this into our container here. At this point, we'll just snap this lid on, and for best results, we'll freeze this overnight.
One eternity later.
We left our ice cream in the freezer for about 12 hours. Let's take this out and see how it is. Take this lid off. And that's looking pretty good. The texture seems just about right too. I guess all there is to do now is have some dessert. If you'd like to learn a little bit more about Joe's Phenomenal, you can watch a couple more videos or you can check us out online at joesphenomenal.com. Not too bad, eh? That's looking pretty good. The ice cream that we got by doing this came out pretty decent. It's a little bit more granular than I like, but it still tasted great. The problem is, it really was a giant pain in the butt to do it this way. If you don't have an ice cream machine, it's gonna get you by, but I guarantee after you've done this a few times this way, you're probably just gonna go to the store and buy ice cream instead. Our compressor-based machine and our Ninja Creamy both produce much better results. And the best part is the amount of work involved is nothing compared to what we had to do to make this. If you'd like a little bit more information about the Ninja Foodi Power Mixer that we used in this video, we do have an Amazon affiliate link for it down in the description of the video. If you buy anything through those links, we do make a small commission, but it doesn't change the price that you pay 1 cent. If you'd like to see a video about how to make ice cream in a compressor-based ice cream maker, you can click right here to check that out. It's really informative, and the method that we use today with the 2 bowls is modeled after what that machine does. With that, that's it for today, and I hope to see you again really soon. And until that time, I'm Joe, and I hope you have a phenomenal day. Take it easy.